has moved.
Yeah, I mean, we did this research not too long ago, like last year, less
late
than
2020,
12 months.
right?
Yeah, and when we did the research, I think globally, or at least US and Europe, there are like 10 unicorns. Now there's like probably double that, and many have gone public, and it's just been a crazy past 12 months. But when we looked at it, the high level sort of consistent thing we saw was most of them had started as a digital MGA and was in the process of becoming a carrier or are already carriers. Less so B2B software companies were helping insurers. That also has changed a little bit. You see a little more of them coming up, like Unfork.
Yeah,
But
Shift is B2B, and they just hit the $1 billion valuation.
Yeah. So there's definitely some more of those, but at least at the time of the research, there are a lot more digital MGAs. And I think that trend will still continue. There will be a lot more digital MGA types or / carriers becoming more unicorns than the B2B software companies. But there are definitely more of those coming up. And then I think we also saw that many of them actually had insurance, at least like one of the founders, or they had early executives who had insurance backgrounds.
Yeah.
And that was definitely helpful. So, and we saw more than the health side. So in the health side, you definitely needed somebody who came from a health background. I guess health is just one of those things that requires a lot more in-depth knowledge to be able to win, whereas on the insurance side, it's less so. And so some of the founders, maybe CEOs, didn't have an insurance background, but then they'll partner up with somebody who's had. So that was kind of one couple things we saw as well. I don't know, David, you should call some other ones that we looked at.
Yeah, I mean, a couple other trends that were interesting about the unicorns is just the ambition of the founders. And I think this is a really interesting thing as you're studying InsurTechs, is that most of the founders that started the early unicorns, their ambition was to become a unicorn, and oftentimes they were a second-time founder. So you take Asaf from Hippo, it wasn't his first time around, it's really his third startup. Or you look at Daniel and Shai from Lemonade. I mean, with Shai starting Fiverr was already another public company. So if you look at the founders that are second-time founders, oftentimes they have that ambition to not just build a company that are going to sell for 40 or 50 million dollars, but they want to take it to the maximum potential that it can have. I think the other thing that we've seen with the unicorn InsurTechs is that they're, for the most part, taking on large markets that have nearly infinite potential. So in other words, they're competing with traditional incumbents in business lines that are not niche, right? Like if you're looking at renter's insurance, auto insurance, they're not going into areas like drone cover, where the absolute total market is still undiscovered and it's not as big as these nearly infinite markets.
Yeah. This is Tony Lew
and David Gritz from InsurTech NY, and this is the future of insurance.